That is some kind of nice background you got there, Kurt. How'd you get that?
That's from my basement in Marquette, Michigan. I said that looks like a good background, so I took a picture of it, and I still have it.
And so that's a picture. That's a picture I'm looking at, not the actual thing.
No. But I'm trying to give off the I'm in a dark basement type look, so I think I'm getting it.
The guy in the basement.
Yeah, I'm the guy in the basement typing madly.
I've got a disclaimer.
Angrily at your Twitter post.
I've got a disclaimer to read here. Are we rolling?
We are rolling. If you, we're live.
I had part of my lunch was refried beans, so I have to issue this disclaimer that any flatulence that's overheard during the course of this podcast could be disturbing to younger listeners. Okay. So now we're no longer legally liable.
So are we a PG-13 show then?
Hopefully not. The weather is sunny again here today, but no thanks to the atmospheric river wider than a county. I feel your warm, wet bounty on my face. But let's pick up the pace, stop the rain. The rain's become a pain. Just stop the freaking rain, atmospheric river. And me, dee, 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 dee. Thank you.
You seem in a wonderful mood despite the rain.
That's because I have alcohol to look forward to.
Oh, well, it is a big game tonight. Are you watching the game at one of your favorite watering holes?
I will be making water here in my own living room in front of the game at 6:30 my time.
Bobby's got a TT.
This first annual Bob and Kel CleverCast multiphasic exam and personality inventory is brought to you by the following sponsors. Choo Choo, which is not just a TikTok CEO. Choo Choo is actually a delicious and nutritious pet treat available at all participating Petco stores. It tastes like a shoe to you. It tastes like a chew to them. So do your pet a favor and pick up a Choo Choo today. Also by Closed Doors, the sweatpant that makes you glad that you're a man, if you know what I'm saying. I love the stretchy tingle of my closed doors. I have a pair. And there's just nothing like semi-tumescence throughout the day to remind one of one's misspent youth. No one knows what goes on inside closed. I thought to try to sing a Charlie Rich song after the Andy Williams song would be too much singing. So
I love that though. I remember you introduced me to Charlie Rich way back when, and it was the best.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that I introduced you to sweatpants that leave you semi-hard throughout the day. I just love that stretchy tingle.
Oh, it's when you don't have to leave the house, it's the best.
Oh my God. Don't you think there's a reason though? As we evolved, you know, if you remember your world books, how man became erect, quote unquote, from cave era on. Do you think it's any mystery that a person's hands extend when you're standing? They extend about groin level. I mean, there's a reason for that. So why fight it?
I agree. There's a reason the dinosaurs became extinct. They couldn't reach.
We're also, well, that's right, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex is looking around at the dinosaurs with the regular length arms and feeling really jealous. And also today is brought to us by Ramadan Inn. You guessed it right. Islam has bought the global chain known as Ramada Inns. They've added an inn to the name. It is now Ramadan Inn. Please see to your stay and pray vacation now, or your praycation. If you're fasting over the next month, you still can't break that room service habit, call down to the front desk. We'll send up an empty tray in 30 minutes or less. We'll help you with that fast at Ramadan Inn.
Stay and pray. I love it.
Yeah, the praycation.
I love how you're getting all
Okay.
the advertisements out of the way right away. So it's kind of a free form the rest of the way. We can kind of just.
Well, I don't know what you call free form when you have a legal pad that looks like this.
Oh,
This is a multiphasic exam, man. There are no right or wrong answers.
right.
I should probably allow one question to jump to the head of the line, given what I said, what I bumped into today on Pornhub. Would you be comfortable watching the 25-year-old version of me make love to a woman? Because that's what I saw today. I finally bumped into myself.
Oh,
The 25-year-old version of me, same face, same head, same hair color, and similarities except for the enormous dingus. Obviously, I'm standard man. I'm the superhero of modestly endowed males. But the name is, I'm guessing it's her name, and this is just her preferred guy. But the name is Kelly. What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
Well, that'd be something.
Irony.
Maybe his name is
Kelly,
Kel, and they're a partnership.
Kelly, Aleman or Ailman, Aleman. If you go to Kelly Ailman, Aleman on Pornhub, you will see me making love as never before 45 years ago.
Amazing.
Isn't that nuts?
I can't get over it. Now, I just think of that picture that you sent me years ago of you leaning up against the rail of some, and wearing the tight blue jeans.
Yeah.
And there was significant, outline, as it were.
There were some shadows. There's no doubt about that.
And so I think you sell yourself short. I think back then something was happening down there.
I was in a movie called Selling Myself Short back in the day. And then I grew to become a man by the end of the movie, and the rest is history. No, I know exactly the picture that you're referring to. It was taken in Little Italy in New York City in 1981, and it spawned the Calvin Klein litigation, what we know now as the Calvin Klein litigation, that got me dragged before a superior court in New York City to explain my groin.
Well, a bigger smirk you would never see.
Nope. So what is your answer to that multiphasic exam and personality inventory question? Would you be comfortable looking at the 25-year-old version of me laying waste to a woman of similar age?
See, I thought you were going to spin it around and say, would you be comfortable looking at an image of yourself, being me, with somebody at that age? But you're saying you, the 25-year-old you. Yeah, I would definitely take part.
Okay. That's all I wanted.
I mean, what am I going to say?
Was a yes or no.
Okay.
And in a related item, at a same-sex wedding, have you ever been to a same-sex wedding?
I have, yes.
Okay. When the time came for the kiss, did you look away?
I did not. I looked right on.
Oh.
Everyone is God's child.
You're a horn dog. Isn't this an amazing paradox? My couch is right over there, and I could sit on that couch all day and watch two women sloppily make out. And yet the thought of two men placing their mouths on each other makes my blood run cold. Why is that?
I don't know.
I'm giving all of a sudden, I'm giving myself the multiphasic exam.
I tell you, though, I mean, there's on every television show you watch these days, there is a male on male or a female on female.
Oh, they're bringing it. Yeah, it's seeping into the culture. There's no doubt about it.
Perry Mason has made its way back onto the airwaves on HBO.
Okay.
Della Street is a lesbian. Did you know that?
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yes.
Ida Lupino is rolling in her grave. Crazy.
Check it out.
Another also related irony is that women look so cute in men's clothes, especially like with a necktie and whatnot. Men look like hell in women's clothes. Why is that? Why is that paradox?
Have you ever tried it? That would be my question to you. Have you ever worn women's clothes?
let's sidestep that issue by going platonic. Do you take a flight of steps, one step at a time, or more than one? Does it depend on if you're in a hurry, or
Yes.
is it your custom to just take one step at a time, up or down steps to that matter?
I would say it's whether I'm in a hurry or not.
Okay.
Typically one at a time.
Is your TV audio, the volume level, set on a number that has personal significance to you, such as mine is always set on number 17 because that's Shohei Ohtani's uniform number. How is your volume set?
It's always set on 13, but for no reason. It's just that's where it's set. But I guess you could say it's an unlucky 13, but who knows?
Now, if a real elderly person, as opposed to me, came into the room and asked that I turn it up, I would do that. Or turn it down, I would do that. But for me, 17.
Can I spin it on you again? Do you ever use closed captioning to watch shows because you just can't understand what they're saying?
Yes. The show is called First Take with Stephen A. Smith. I have to have some sort of English language assistance with his ranting and raving. Otherwise, I will only understand the words "my brother," which are the same as a period at the end of his sentences. My brother. That's when you know a sentence is ended.
My brother.
In the absence of toilet paper, have you cleaned yourself with a paper towel?
You asked this the other day, you forget things, but no, I said I would not use a paper towel. I might use a Kleenex, but not a paper towel.
Never thought about facial tissue. The reason I asked this question is because I attempted to watch a French movie about 11th century horny nuns called Benedetta with Charlotte Rampling. And there's a scene, and it was the last straw for me. I had to turn it off after this. I realized that things were more primitive, around 1100, 1200, but there was a latrine, and the women, the horny nuns, were getting up off the seats, and they were reaching back for handfuls of leaves and twigs to clean themselves with. And that had to be, well, it was painful for me to the degree that I had to turn off the DVD.
Well, go back to the Garden of Eden. What did they use?
I have to believe that they probably rubbed their buttocks against the ground like dogs do. That's my guess.
That's good.
Nice of you to turn the multiphasic. Nice of you to turn the multiphasic exam against me. Have you ever narrowly, accidentally, perhaps with someone else's help, escaped death?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I've never had a gun. I've never
While
had
you
a
think
gun
about
pointed at
that,
me.
while you think about that, I'll let you know that in the warehouse district of Minneapolis, probably 20 years ago, I was about to step off a curb as a city bus was coming by, and it was just about, unbeknownst to me, about to decapitate me with its side mirror. Behind me, a person pinched my shirt.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they
preventing me
pinched
from
something else.
pinched me by the closed door sweatpants and prevented me from going out into the street and being decapitated by the bus's side mirror. I was so shaken that I didn't think to turn around and even thank them.
Oh,
But have you ever narrowly, accidentally escaped death?
the only
Has
time
anyone
I
ever
can think-
saved your life?
I mean, I'm sure there are very close and narrow escapes that I've never really even thought about. But our trip to Punta Cana, on the drive back to the airport, I looked ahead at the over the driver's shoulder, and there was no gas in the tank.
Oh,
The light on the dashboard for the tire said it was flat, and I was praying that there would be no hazardous, side of the road stops. Luckily, there wasn't. So
you rented a car?
No,
it was
a Uber driver type thing.
Oh, okay. Were you harassed? Did the Uber driver mind his P's and Q's?
He did. He didn't even talk to us. But again, he probably just was interested in his, Latino music.
Well, there was probably a language barrier.
Well, my wife, my wife speaks fluent Spanish.
Oh, that's right. Of course, she could translate for you? What's wrong with me?
If ever you travel, always travel with a Latina girl because you don't have to worry about a language barrier.
Well, once again, when I was 25, I traveled with several of them.
You did.
I was kind of like Tony Orlando and Dawn, except for Hispanic women. Have you ever taken Lyft?
Yeah, I've taken a lift.
Yeah.
Do you
The
prefer?
last Lyft I took, it was from a concert in Santa Monica, and the guy goes, "Step on the sheets, please. Step on the sheets." He had sheets in the back floorboard. You were supposed to step on the sheets so you wouldn't get his car dirty, and then he jacks up the sound of a vulgar black comedian. A recording of a vulgar black comedian, and we're supposed to act like this isn't happening, and we can't talk to each other, and it was just a horrible experience. And needless to say, he didn't receive a tip from me
Was
or
it
my girlfriend.
Was it Red Fox?
I think it may have been the second coming of Red Fox. It was pretty gross, but it was like, okay, welcome to my world. Now you need to adjust to me for the next few minutes while I get you to point B, and I think it was racial. If I didn't know any better, I think it was racial. Have you? Hey, I'm glad we veered, no pun intended, into the driving subject.
Oh,
Have you ever flipped anyone off while driving? Have you ever suffered any digital road rage?
I have probably once, very few times have I ever had you know me, I'm a very level-headed,
You are.
cool-headed
Well,
guy.
you're
And
actually
so,
physically, literally level-headed right now as I look at you. Your head is perfectly level. So I agree with you. Has it always been that level? Have you styled your hair that way since you were a small child?
no, it's just very short right now, and I think it looks level, but
I did the math the other day. You know when my last haircut was?
uh,
It was at Christmas time in Texas to please my parents. I got a haircut
whoa.
7 years ago.
No, you're kidding. You're just kidding around.
No, 7 years ago.
Wow.
It's all tied up.
You let your freak flag fly.
I did. It's all tied up. And that reminds me.
Spin around. I gotta see this.
Huh?
Wow. Just like Zlata.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yes.
Memo to, very quick digression, memo to Stormy Daniels. I finally got around to seeing one of her movies.
Okay.
She needs to tie her hair back so we can see what she's doing with her mouth. She's a big woman. She's statuesque. She's limber for a big woman, but she needs to tie her hair back. That would be my advice to her.
Okay. Well, you should have an advice column for porn stars. I think that would be, a clever way to help out.
Tie your hair back. I don't think I've ever flipped anyone off while driving because, well, especially when I lived, with my family and the children were in the car, we would just play a game called Old Asian on the Phone. And we would ask the kids to guess what the source of the erratic driving of the person ahead of us or alongside us was. Were they old? Were they Asian? Because we all know Asians don't know where the hell they're going. Or are they on the phone? And sometimes they're combinations. You drive up beside them, and then it begins to make sense. They're old and they're on the phone, or they're old and they're Asian, or they're Asian and on the phone. And whoever would win would receive a prize once we got home, if we got home safely.
What was the typical prize?
Oh, an ice cream cone or something. I don't know. Have you ever voted for a Republican?
Happy to say no.
I have. His name was, maybe is, I hope he's still alive. Do you remember the name Arnie Carlson?
Yes.
Barbara's ex-husband and former governor, University of Minnesota. There's no need to get choked up over this nostalgia.
I'm kind of aghast. It's like I can't believe it.
And you know what? I may, for all I know, this was 1976. So it was like almost 50 years ago. I may have voted for Gerald Ford against Jimmy Carter. So I voted for maybe two of them. But you say you have never voted for a Republican.
Never, not once. Not even independent. Didn't you vote for Jesse when he was up for governorship?
I did not. I voted for Skip Humphrey.
Oh, well, that was a vote well made.
Governor Ventura is back before the state legislature, telling them about his feelings on marijuana.
Does he
He's
still
like
go?
a high Jed Clampett. He's doorbell rings. Ellie Mae, what's that sound?
Does he
Yeah.
still use the governor title? Is he once a governor, always a governor? Is that how it works?
I suppose you kind of have to call him Governor Ventura. He's former governor, just like, Mr. President. You call W or Clinton or any of those guys Mr. President because they used to be president.
Now, do you keep a running total of your stats? Like, oh, I voted for the winner that year. Oh, I got the loss that year, that type of thing. So do you have a running total? You're like 33 and 12 over the years, picking the president correctly.
I have not kept that particular tally, but I do know of people who vote. This was back in the 90s. I knew a guy who cast his vote for the person he thought would win, not the person whose agenda he approved of.
Okay.
He thought it was like Vegas. He thought it was like placing a bet. Can you believe that?
I can believe anything.
Did you know that I used to be so drunk at Canterbury Park that I would try to place bets at the concession stand?
I can believe that. We should play a game. Can you believe that?
And then at the dog track in Hudson, I was not beyond running out to the rail and shouting, "Where are the jockeys? Where are the jockeys?"
I do remember that. I think we did a show from there.
He was dog racing, for God's sake. Let me see if I can read my own writing here. Okay. How about this? This comes out of the heading of things people say to me. I told you last time that people just walk up to me and say the strangest stuff, totally unsolicited. I don't know how to respond. I flashed back on a party maybe 25 years ago in Gem Lake, which is across 61 from White Bear Lake. Go Bears. And at this party, the host just volunteered this while if you can picture us, standing here with our little, cocktail glasses. And he says to me, the wife and I are so sick of each other physically that she lets me put a blonde wig on her and call her Candy. This man says this to me out of the blue. And now how am I supposed to respond to that except to ask you, if things went equally stale with the missus, what color would the wig be? What would the assumed name be?
Wow, that's a great question. I don't know if I ever thought of that before, but I would probably go blonde, because why not?
Okay.
And the name, wait,
like Yvette or something, or Babette or something saucy and horny.
Maybe Kelly.
Okay. I'll accept it.
So were you at a swingers party or in Gem Lake, or?
No, that was not a swingers party. It was a party of all the people in the neighborhood in this moneyed enclave of Gem Lake. Those houses used to be occupied by the employees of Archer Daniels Midland. Are you familiar with that oil company from back in the day?
I am,
They
yes.
owned all that property, and their high-ranking employees lived in those homes.
Huh.
So every year they would have a party for everyone in the homes. They would have a get-together, and that's where you get told that the wife and I are sick of each other physically. Bring on the wig and the name Candy, and everything is all right. How would you respond to something like that? What? Huh?
I always like to turn this back on you. Have you ever dated a woman named Candy before?
No, the only woman named Candy I've ever even heard of was an exotic dancer back in the 60s in Texas named Candy Barr, Barr. And she used to entertain at prison rodeos.
Oh, Roseanne's
Candy
sister.
Barr. She's Googleable. If you want to learn more about Candy Barr, she's on Google waiting to be found out about.
All right.
When was the last time you drank so much And I should probably stop there and tell the people who don't know that you are from the alcohol poisoning capital of the world, St. Cloud, Minnesota. So your reputation precedes you. When was the last time you drank so much you threw up?
Oh, wow. I mean, we obviously, it happened all the time in college, St. Cloud State, go Huskies.
Yes. Oh,
Um,
yeah. That's the
but
belly of the beast right there,
I
boy.
would say it's been a while. Really, it has been. I've gotten pretty well buzzed a lot, but throwing up, probably not since maybe my early 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are St. Cloud, well, what is the mascot, first of all, St. Cloud State?
Husky dog, Huskies.
And what are the school colors?
Red, black, and white.
I I got it right. I had a feeling red, the color of the party cup, would be in there somewhere.
No, red, the color of your nose.
Oh, okay. What the veins
Yes,
in
and the black
in the
eye from
outfit's
getting
nose?
punched. Yes.
I also thought about St. Cloud in another context the other day. I found that I've become comforted by a fixed camera on a nest of bald eagles in Big Bear Lake, northeast Los Angeles County. Friends of Big Bear Valley is a thing, and you can watch the bald eagle's nest and contribute to the people who have financed the camera. It's just fabulous nature in action. They showed us the two of these two bald eagles, Jackie and Shadow, getting together, if you will, on another tree. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, public sex is all they know. If you put these two in a hotel room, it'd be totally lost on them. They wouldn't know to call down for room service champagne or anything. Public sex is literally all they know. Wouldn't you think that St. Cloud, Minnesota, given given the alcohol intake there, wouldn't you think that
That's
that
all they
St. Cloud
know.
would be in the vanguard of public sex in the state of Minnesota, like on the hoods of cars and stuff like
Oh,
that?
any number of times you can see used condoms laying in the street. I get it. I get it.
What do you say, honey? Costco parking lot tonight. What do you think of that? Let's go over there and back by the dumpsters where no one can see, but
You know,
still public sex. That's all we know.
we might have quite a listenership in St. Cloud, Mister. So you just better walk slowly.
I have to admire that kind of amazing immunity to alcohol poisoning, the people who are still standing. So
Mhm.
let's frame it that way in a complimentary way, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Um, have you thought have you thought of past girlfriends while making love to your wife?
Ooh, I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Okay, you can pass if you'd like to.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's kind of damning in its own right. I should just
How
say
about
no.
this? If you came back as an animal, what would it be? If you came back to life, a
Wow.
second life as an animal, what animal would you choose?
Wow. Well, as I'm thinking here, what would you choose? You must have something at the ready, like something
A
that.
seal, a seal or sea lion, a creature that can breathe underwater and out of water. You're good to go wherever, you know? Don't you just, aren't you envious of seals and sea lions? That
I've
you
never
can
really
breathe.
been envious of them. I've admired them. I don't think I've ever been envious of them.
You run into the
They-
short
they-
arms problem.
I'm sorry?
You
Short
run into the
arms?
short arms problem with a seal.
Yeah, now that's true. The fin thing would eliminate, any kind of. Oh, that reminds me, I have a question here about self-abuse, Kel.
No,
Have you ever
let me
taken it?
answer. Let me
Oh,
answer
sorry. Go
first
ahead.
before you digress. Let's go with
Mhm.
tiger. Tiger, big cat. I think that would be a cool animal to be.
How about a mountain lion in California prowl the highways and whatnot? Although I
Really?
guess that would be painful to get hit by a car.
Yes, it might be.
Have you noticed that when dogs and animals like that get hit by cars, they kind of slump against the curb and they have this expression on their face like, wow, this is new. It's because they don't know that their lives are ever going to end. Can you imagine that waking up each day and you're convinced that your life will never end, as opposed to human beings who know that we have a finite
We're
existence?
aware, yes.
Here's my self-abuse question in the multiphasic exam. Have you ever taken advantage of yourself in a shower?
Well, I think that seems like a good play. I mean, yes. I mean, I'll be honest. If you're honest, are you? Did you?
Hey, listen, soap lathers for a reason, if you ask me. My knees have buckled in more showers than you've ever inhabited.
But I remember the days when you used to be marveled at the movie Showgirls because that it was a hot tub and you
Yes.
were amazed that anybody could achieve an erection in a hot tub.
Well, also, if you'll remember in the pool, I think it was, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was a hot tub. As she was writhing in ecstasy, whatever her name was, her head,
What was it?
Elizabeth Berkley?
Berkeley, that's it.
Okay. The back of her head would hit the water with such force. I'm thinking, this poor woman's going to have CTE before this is all over. She's going to have to observe the concussion protocols. This is the international sign for CTE. Okay, what's the next one here? I'm having difficulty reading my writing. Have you ever been shot?
I think you would know the answer to that, but I have not. I have not been shot. You know, I've never even picked up a gun. I mean, a toy gun, yes, but I've never shot a gun. Have you?
I've not been shot. No, but I came close. And I hesitate to tell the story because every person I tell the story to wind up haunted for the rest of their lives. I mean, seriously, it gives them nightmares.
Not a dog. A dog wouldn't understand your story. So
a dog would just go, wow, this is new. I've never heard anything like this before. I wish I could kill myself. Unfortunately, that's impossible. I'm going to live forever. No one told me that I have a finite existence like human beings. It had to do with a poorly stored revolver. And I was bored with, eating the horse's sugar cubes. I was home alone. And I picked up the gun and I went outside. And I won't get specific, but it was like handling Barney Fife's revolver. There was one bullet in it. And I missed, being eulogized as a sad child just narrowly. So that's where I'll leave it.
You were right, though. I'm haunted.
Have you ever broken a bone?
I have not. I've never broken a bone. I've gotten sprains and other ligament damage, but no bone breaking.
I wish you could have worked with me at KSTP when I closed my middle right finger on a door and broke the bone at the tip of the finger. They put it in a cast, and wherever I went, it was this. That's all I could manage. And I wound up upsetting so many people. Do you remember that scene from that Johnny English movie? The British guy who always acted like a dunce.
Rowan Atkinson?
Exactly. And he thought it was a term of endearment. So wherever he was driven, he was flipping people off, and they were, of course, chasing him to try to do him harm. Well, we've established that it's been a while since you flipped anybody off on the road while driving. Okay. Let's see. Have you, what were your favorite and least favorite subjects in school?
Oh, well, math was my favorite. I was very good at it. And it really proved to be a benefit moving forward in my life.
What, the science and math had some relevance to your
No, not at all. It's like I was great at it, but did I do anything? No, I teamed up with you on a freaking radio show.
There you go. Here's one. I think I recently told an anecdote about us playing golf together. And so I'm going to have to refresh my memory with this question. Do you, Kel Gradke, use the name Jesus, Jesus Christ, or Jesus H. Christ as expletives on the golf course?
I have, yes, I have. You don't remember those? When I landed in the bunker on the 18th hole, I just let fly.
What, to the best of your knowledge, does the H stand for? I had heard rumors of Heathcliff. Who knows? Have you ever? Oh, here's a good one. Here's something that I think everyone, but especially the men, for some reason, can relate to. Have you ever farted in an airplane, a commercial airplane?
Yes,
You ever
yes, I
farted
have.
during a
I
flight?
probably farted on this last airplane I took. Yes. So,
What was it? Audible flatulence, or was it a silent but deadly?
yeah, SBD all the way, my friend.
Nice. That's the way you keep it. You got to be classy. Keep it classy, Gratke family.
Well, I mean, what's your history on the airplane? I mean, I know you're. Wait, were you ever? Okay, here's my question for you. I'm turning the tables. Were
Okay.
you ever a member of the Mile High Club?
Nope, not even for oral. Nope.
Not
No,
even
sir.
for oral. You didn't even get
That's
handsy
just
with
about all there's room for.
you. You never even got a little handsy with your next door neighbor, nothing like that.
I was always very, I guess, easily embarrassed about entering a restroom with another person.
Boy Scout
But
like.
this does lead me to the next question, and not to sidestep that, we can cover it later or at a future podcast. But how about this one? In the celebrity culture, what one man do you have feelings for? Perhaps a man that you see yourself going into an airplane lavatory with. Who would that one man be?
Oh, you love these questions. Don't are you generating these questions from a little book that you got at the library or something, or are these out of your
And
own head?
once again, in this case, from my own experience, because I saw a picture in a magazine recently of the actor Oscar Isaac, and I've decided that I could be gay for him.
I don't know. For me, it's more of an athlete, I suppose. Marcus
Okay.
Foligno for the Wild. I say he's a man. I tell you.
Wouldn't that have been something if back in the, I don't know, what would that have been, 80s? If you had a thing for Bruce Jenner, and then you kind of had to adapt to the changing Bruce Jenner over time, that would be quite the.
As a straight man, I think Bruce was an attractive guy. I don't think she's that attractive anymore.
Well,
Might be an age thing.
I'm 71. I'm nobody to judge. I'm just, I have to watch old Pornhub video of me at
Did,
the age of 25 to boost my self-esteem.
did you see the
I'm
movie
72 next month, Kel.
Oh,
72 next month.
wow, I was born in 1972. That's a huge number.
What would you call that? That sounds like a Halley's Comet kind of thing. I'm 72. You were born in 72. It's like some sort of harmonic convergence.
Yeah, we meet today. It's an
That's
amazing thing.
crazy.
Are you doing anything special for your birthday?
Maybe you're the man I should have feelings for, not Oscar Isaac.
Dude, we have feelings for each other. You know that.
We don't know what we're doing for my birthday. I assume that at some point I will hit the hay around 9 or 10, and we'll call it a year. Have you ever shoplifted?
Oh boy. I would say yes, but I'm not going to give the details because is there some sort of what's it called when a certain amount of time runs out?
Oh, statute of limitations.
That's it. I
You,
can't
you
say
recall how old you
because
were?
I was just a young guy. I was just,
Yeah, so was I. I wore my leather jacket. How savvy was that? I wore my leather jacket while trying to steal albums from Pennies.
I
and
hear that
and
a
people
lot.
would stare as the police escorted me out. Oh, I thought I recognized him. That's number 24. He must have done something really keen to get a police escort like that.
Had your name on your jacket, I suppose.
Not the name, just the uniform number.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
24.
There was a radio host I was just listening to was talking about how he stole albums in his youth, and I'm like, is that a thing? I mean, how do you get a record album that's like really big? How did you do that?
And these days it would be so easy to steal DVDs or
Yeah.
little cassettes or whatever the
Yeah.
hell
But
they're
records,
playing now.
that's a man's man right there.
Just an old man. It occurs to me that I neglected the opportunity to do my impersonation of a bald eagle who happens upon the wrong woman.
Oh, so we're rewinding the questions, going back.
Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. I thought you were my wife. The two of you look so much alike. The white head and the brown body and the 7,000 feathers. I counted every feather while I was doing you too, so I can last longer. If you'll relax and release me, I'll be on my way. Your husband's a very lucky man.
Isn't every animal like that? Dogs, cats, how do they know the difference between each other? Is it a smell thing?
Um, I don't know. But these bald eagles are putting a nest together, which tells me that she has told him that she is once again in the family way. That whatever went on in that tree a couple of weeks ago took, and that they're preparing for what is called a clutch, which is a couple of eggs that she will lie on.
Oh, Dr. Science.
It's really comforting. Do you buy into this comfort animal thing? An animal that makes you feel relaxed and
Oh,
comforted?
I see what you're saying. Like you see people get on the airplane with a dog. That's their,
Exactly.
hmm.
Yeah. Do
Uh,
you believe in that? Would you have one of those for yourself?
I don't think I could. What about you?
My former wife did an article for the Star Tribune in Minneapolis a year or two ago about comfort chickens. I think chickens would be an excellent comfort creature to look out in the backyard and you see the chickens, just strutting around and pecking and stuff, and the rooster's looking for his next action. And it's just, the
Oh,
big bright book of life there with the feathers and the thingy, and the chin. That's got to be cool. You don't agree?
no, I agree. That's what it probably brings you back to your days on the farm in Texas, right?
Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. I thought you were my wife. I can see bald eagle. I can see that happening
You
because
could.
there have to be more than two bald eagles in that entire Big Bear Lake area. You might wind up bellying up to the wrong bald eagle.
Well, and how do you, I just think of odd that there's female bald eagles. That just seems like a more masculine animal to me. So what
That
if,
there have to be females to lay the eggs and incubate
right?
the eggs, or because if you've got all males, you're going to go nowhere.
But what if he goes up to what he thinks is a female bald eagle and it turns out to be a male bald
Oh,
eagle?
that's true. That he would probably need to ask in the bald eagle language. Would you mind if I look between your legs?
In the sweatpants.
Or, which actually, in the bars of my youth, there was one across from my college. I can actually see myself asking someone that question. What is your opinion of intentionally bald women?
Intentionally bald women.
As a fashion statement, there's one on ESPN now, a black woman who is completely skin all over her head. Do you find that attractive?
I don't, but I'm saying go girl. Why not? Just, be yourself and be what you want to be. Is that a good enough
Okay.
answer?
That's very magnanimous of you.
Politically
You
correct.
should probably mention the people who are being treated for cancer. Many times they lose their hair, or
Correct.
people with the mange or ringworm, their hair has to go. But I'm talking about as a fashion statement. They're all decked out. There's just one major difference. They don't have any hair.
Exactly.
You I don't know how important hair is in your relationship.
I think
For
hair,
yourself, apparently
if I
not.
had to choose between a woman with hair or a woman with no hair, I'd probably go
Hmm.
hair. Does that answer
Did
the
you say
question?
did you say no hair or mohair? Um, Tattoos and piercings. Do you find them to be attractive?
Well, I'll go with no, but would I turn a girl away for a tattoo or a piercing? Probably not.
One of the surprising things about the Stormy Daniels movie that I saw, and I don't know that I don't know that when you're that comprehensively tattooed around the midriff that you can change your mind and have it removed. But I don't understand how beautiful women think they're going to be any more beautiful by punching holes in their skin,
Mm.
hanging things from the holes,
Oh, yes.
inking their
Oh.
flesh. Does that make sense to you?
How do you feel about pierced nipples?
No, I can't handle that. No. How do you feel about the ring in the nose? Do you
I
find
would
that to
think
be
it's
attractive?
difficult to blow your nose. It would just, no.
I think if it were the last thing that I could grab to tackle Ezekiel Elliott, I would grab the nose ring.
I would grab
And
the
you can
dreadlocks.
hear him scream all over Dallas County.
Mm.
Are you, I'm sorry, are you, oh, are you circumcised?
Well, I how do I answer that? Of course I mean, I am.
Look down
You look
and go,
down.
yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Yes, but my
that's how you do
dad
it.
wasn't. Isn't that strange?
Same here, exactly.
You would think as a father would want to have them your son the same as you know, but que sera, sera.
Uh, did your parents date other people? Because mine did not. My parents were the only people they knew biblically. And my mother went to her grave thinking that all penises look like that. That's just shocking to me.
Did you ever see your father's penis?
That kind of fidelity just blows my mind. This is the only person I've ever been with. I'm sorry, what was your question?
I said, did you ever see your father's penis?
I did not, but I was told by my sister, the middle child, that while he was in the hospital, the final time he was in the hospital in his late 80s, and I don't know why they did this, but while he was sedated, to help him out in some way, what way I don't know, they circumcised the man in his late 80s. Why would they do that?
That seems like cruel and unusual punishment.
My mother wouldn't recognize him because she's all she's ever seen is that blocked off look, that ugly ass blocked off look. Well, I knew a guy in high school who was uncircumcised, and the only reason any of us enjoyed it was because he could do tricks with it. He could do a thing where he would like bubble it up out the top, and he was like one of those guys at carnivals and county fairs doing tricks with balloons.
Oh,
You know,
those
where you could make a balloon into a dog or a goose or something.
those Texas locker rooms.
Stupid.
So your answer is yes or no.
Let's move on.
Kurt is squirming. It could be either that we've said something that is challenging to the Board of Standards and Practices, or we will save the rest of the multiphasic exam personality inventory questions for another day.
Now, this list of questions, does it take you like all week, maybe for months you've been building this list of questions, or did you basically come up with this before the show started today?
I have a legal pad or a Pierre Hotel scratch pad by me at all times, and when I think of something, I write it down. Do you remember a movie, one of Michael Keaton's first movies called Night Shift? And when
Yes.
something would occur to him, he would say it into a little cassette,
Yes.
edible trash, that kind of
Right.
thing. He invention ideas, and that's what I do with my legal pads and scratch pads.
That was a great movie. What Henry Winkler and a young Shelley Long. That was very good.
Yep. Okay, then final question for now, and then we'll save this page for next time.
Wow.
What could you eat or drink or both every day? One thing, eating or drinking. Mine is tuna. I could eat tuna every day. I love tuna. What has a food and or drink has a special place in your heart, other than beer, having grown up in St. Cloud?
Well, I love a good, I mean, it's the snacks are always fun. So I guess a piece of string cheese is just like a fun little snack. Hence the flatulence on the airplane.
I don't know what kind of insight into your mentality or personality this follow-up question would avail us, but how do you feel about Triscuits?
Triscuits are good. They're good. I'll probably go with Ritz a lot, but Triscuits are just fine too.
I like the little discs of Gouda too, the red wrap discs of Gouda. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, Baby Bells.
Grapes are good.
Grapes are delicious. I love a good melon.
I've got a mastectomy joke, but it'll have to wait until next week. Thank you, Kel Gradke. Thank you, executive producer Kurt, for helping us with another podcast brought to you by Chew Chew, Closed Doors Sweatpants, and Ramadan Inn. Bob and Kel signing off. So long for now.